What's up with the squad? Back with another video. I see the titles go down. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it right here. So we gonna take a step back. We're gonna take a step back, and because everything is slowly starting to come up again, I should say. When it comes down to it, it's only a few people that have been, speaking on this. Speaking on other things that's been happening when it comes to especially Karmelo Anthony and his family, and people that also have been getting in trouble for a lot of things when it comes down to it, just not Karmelo Anthony. And I definitely don't see, and the thing is, it all started with Karmelo Anthony, obviously, of what he's done. But then again, when you have ignorant people that do ignorant things, they get tied into things that truly could have been simply avoided. You literally have here, this is the mother and brother of Austin Metcalf. I'm sure many of y'all have seen this, but for the ones who didn't, just listen to this story right here.
And then I saw him about to fall. I went to go over there. I grabbed him. I see. Let's go.
Yeah, I understand. Best I can to understand.
Yeah, there was. You can see. You can picture what happened when what was coming out of his chest, and
yeah.
Y'all can visualize other stuff. I don't want to put down my mom right now, but I pushed my hand on there, trying to make it stop, and I grabbed his head and I looked in his eyes. I just saw his soul leave, and it took my soul too.
I'm so sorry. I'm going to ask you one last question. I've seen interviews with your husband, who I can hear in the side, by the way. I think he's there in the room with you. I saw an interview last night. Okay, someone else. Yes, okay.
Yes, sir.
But I have seen interviews with your husband in the last 24 hours. And,
like I said, like watching this interview, I'm not going to lie. Just having a son like this, and I definitely say and keep saying that he's actually a very, very strong individual to speak for his mom and to speak especially not only for his mom, but speaking on the situation that's like this. Not only speaking on the situation of losing his twin brother, but actually being there and holding him too. That's a strong individual. I don't care what nobody say. Forget this individual said this, that. You just imagine you having to sit here and talk during an interview with your mom that can't really hold herself together. You really can't hold yourself together, but to see that in person, actually hold your brother or your sibling and having to, be strong, to speak, that's a strong person right there.
It was remarkable to me that I heard your husband say within hours of this that he forgave this other young man, and he got there so quickly. And I honestly don't know that I could. And I just want to see. And I don't know if there's a right or a wrong place to be, especially as quickly as this has happened. Megan, how do you feel on that front today?
I am not like their dad. I am so angry at that boy. It's just not fair. That's all I have.
I understand.
I'd like to say it's forgave, not forgotten, but I'm not at that point yet to forgive that kid for what he did to my brother. Because, 17 years, my best friend just there and didn't blink of an eye, I lost him. So I'm not at that point.
It's definitely sad. So I know many of y'all have seen this, but for ones who didn't, and I'm going to start, as I go on, and I'm, obviously reporting, things like this. I want to be able to show y'all, because there's a lot of people that really don't know this story and don't know, and obviously what happened. But I'm here to tell y'all. I'm definitely here to tell y'all for the ones who don't know. Says the mother and twin brother of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf speak out after he was tragically unalived in a senseless, stabbing at a track and field meet in Texas. Austin was attacked at this stadium in Frisco after telling 17-year-old Karmelo Anthony he was sitting in the wrong seat. So not only that, Reports show that Karmelo Anthony wasn't qualified to be at that track meet. He wasn't running at the track meet at all. And he was sitting up under the wrong school's tent. I don't know how many times I got to tell people that, though. But for you to already be not even you're not supposed to be there. But not only you're not supposed to be there, you're in another school's tent, not even your school's tent. Mind you, this school was there, but he wasn't under their school's tent at all.
Just doesn't make any sense. I mean, that's just because the kid was mad, my son is not here anymore, and I don't understand it.
He's a good kid. We just got a little altercation, and that's really it. But he has a good heart. Everyone knows. Everyone around here knows he's a great kid. He just one mistake from that dude, and just took my brother. He didn't deserve it. No one deserves a loss from a family like that. I know people that lose their family members all the time, but I just didn't know it was going to be mine so soon. My best friend and my brother my whole life, but there was this kid, before I knew his name now, this kid was sitting under our tent at track. We asked him to move. He started getting aggressive and talking reckless. And my brother stepped in and said, "You need to move." He's like, "Make me move." Austin grabbed his backpack. The kid, I tried to whip around as fast as I could, but I didn't see the stab. But then I look at my brother, and then I'm not going to talk about the rest. So
Yeah.
that's just what I saw. And I tried to help him, but
It was just senseless.
it was really senseless. Really, I don't know why a person would do that to someone just over that little argument. It's just crazy in this world nowadays how people just up and do that. Like a man has a family. That man has people that care about them all the time, and he did everything for our family too. He was a strong man. He was a strong kid. Real strong.
It's definitely sad. I ain't gonna lie. It's definitely sad, about that whole thing that happened. This is the full arrest report of Karmelo Anthony. You literally have it right here on, and it's kind of odd. I'm not gonna lie. This is definitely odd that I'm actually reporting this. It's April 2nd. This is April 2nd of last year. That's pretty wild. I'm not gonna lie. So you literally have April 2nd of last year. This happened. It says the school resource officer E. Cortez heard over the radio dispatch call out, when this happened. Obviously they run over the whole thing. Y'all can go check this out, Sarah Fields. Make sure y'all go follow Sarah Fields. But and I'm not gonna go over this whole report, but within the report, you see that you have it here. And I want to go back so y'all can see this, and y'all can. I'm literally reading. As I got close to the north end, I could see the Memorial High School tent with multiple individuals under the tent. Once I arrived at the north side of the bleacher, an adult male who was on the track pointed out the suspect. Mind you, if you have an adult male pointing out the suspect, and I'm gonna show y'all when it comes down to the witnesses. This is why I truly feel like he's, in a sense, guilty when it comes down to it. But I'm no judge. I can't say that. But then again, I can't, because just seeing, when it comes down to this report, you pointed at the suspect. Says the individual that was pointed out to me was a black male wearing a gray hoodie, sweater, dark colored Nike pants. The suspect at this point was on let me see if I can find it here. This is the second page. On the track on the north end, there was a chain link fence that separated me from the suspect. Mind you, that means that between him and the suspect, that obviously Karmelo ran. I gave suspect instructions to keep his hands in the air during this time. Suspect verbally out loud, I was protecting myself. I know a lot of people have been talking about this whole I was protecting myself thing. Let me tell y'all something. That's not going to fly. That's not going to fly when people say that a lot and say this, and y'all know what I'm talking about. That's not truly going to help you. And I'm speaking of the people that say, "Oh, he was protecting himself." Okay, if he was protecting himself, why did he run? That's my thing. That's like a hit and run. Like I truly feel like if you do something like that and you truly don't, there's two things. Either you really scared. You really scared. But mind you, he's not in a car. Then on top of that, you truly know what you did. You now trying to get away. You know, and everybody's seeing you. You had that adrenaline, but it's not gonna fly. So it should be noted that I had not questioned him about the incident when he made that comment. Again, so you know, he literally told him basically I was protecting myself. I'm the one that did it, and he didn't. The officer didn't question him hey, did you do that? Did you? You know, and it's obviously Karmelo. You move on to the witnesses, y'all. Like I said, y'all go check this out, Sarah Fields. But you literally have multiple witnesses. You have different bus numbers on here that's obviously crossed out with the students' names that's crossed out. You have individuals from Lebanon Trail High School girls track. You have about 2 individuals from there. You have Liberty High School boys track. You have multiple, probably about 10 individuals. Liberty High School girls track, you have 1. Memorial School High School boys track, you have about 5 or 6. Frisco High School boys track, you have about 3 witnesses. And then you have another bus number of Independence High School boys and girls track with about 5 witnesses. And then you have another bus from Emerson High School girls track with 1 witness. And then not to mention, you're having all these witnesses of these kids, but you're also having coaches. You have a Centennial High School coach, a Heritage High School coach, Independence High School coach, 2 Independent High School coaches. So you're having not only students that have seen what happened, but you're having coaches. Within all these students that I named, with over 20 individuals we got here, trust and believe, not only do they have video, because they took the phones of these individuals that, you know, obviously seen what happened, but you obviously, they seen it. They seen it happen. You know, so I'm telling y'all, all the people that's always in the comments and saying they think they detected, they think they this, they think they that, stop basing off on race. This is one of those right or wrong things. Karmelo is in the wrong, and that's how I look at it. People got to stop doing that. Not to mention, you have it right here. You got Karmelo Anthony had previously been suspended for bringing a knife to school, and his friend told the police that he had said in prior days that he wanted to do something to someone. Pretty wild. And it's definitely, you know, insane that you have a student. And I mean, just think about that. How is this going to hold up in court? How is this going to hold up in jury? And the first of all, you know, you had a judge. It was a different judge. And then now you have Judge Roach. I'm pretty sure it's still Judge Roach. If y'all didn't watch my last video, go check that out. And then I'm gonna probably be dropping another video, you know, to see, you know, more what's going on within this Judge Roach, which is, you know, I'm telling y'all. Well, you have it right here. It says there are 84 days until June 1st, 2026. This Sarah Fields, by the way. I have made all necessary preparations to attend and report on the trial of Karmelo Anthony. I cannot wait for it to be over, so much truth to be revealed. Then I'm going to write absolutely no one will intimidate me or stop me. I'm going to write about just how deeply involved certain players were regarding to this trial. From the family of Karmelo Anthony to the advocates, to the campaigns and petitions and efforts to silence reporters and activists, to the abuse of the Metcalf family has endured, to the involvement of the Black Panthers, activist grifters who wanted a quick buck and their 15 minutes of fame. The case and the trial are being used to attempt to brainwash adults and children alike into thinking that a violent action is appropriate when feelings are hurt. And again, I truly feel like this is, again, you know, you have people that's bringing up this race thing, and it's not a race thing. I mean, it's people got to stop looking like that. I feel like the world isn't going to get better when they keep on using this whole race. It's always a race. This has nothing. This is me personally. I say this, and I know I have people in my comments all the time, and you have people that say, "Oh, he probably made it a race thing," and you know, speaking on Karmelo, he did this, he did that. Man, look, this is a right or wrong thing. Karmelo is in the wrong, and I look at it as this: if it was flipped the other way, regardless of your skin color, I truly feel that way. If you're in the wrong about something, you're completely in the wrong about something. That's just how I look at it. People can hate me for it, but I truly feel that way. I'm telling y'all. And it's definitely sad that you have individuals that are being, you know, a certain way and not looking at it like they actually need to look at it. You know what I mean? Let's check out more facts
I
about
don't
this.
understand this plan. We're all subject to trial and tribulations. God didn't say life was going to be fair or wasn't going to be hard, but he said he'll always be beside you and never leave your side. So we're going to lean deep into our faith.
Now, let's go back to Dominique Alexander, because, you know, you could just tell by some of that language that he was sharing earlier that in his mind, he really believes that people believe what he's saying. But the truth is that I just showed you guys how graceful, how respectful, how just forgiving the Metcalf family really is. Did y'all see what Jeff Metcalf said there? Did that seem racist to you? I don't think it seemed racist to me. Now, let's look at a little bit more of who Dominique Alexander is, and then let's get into what he's facing now. Because the truth is that he attacked the wrong journalist.
I want to start off this press conference to say something as a deep note that I can tell America. What we seen at the beginning of this press conference, the father being at this press conference, these are my words, don't quote anybody, is a disrespect to the dignity of his son.
What Jeff Metcalf did by showing up to the press conference after Dominique Alexander and Karmelo Anthony's parents, who were standing right behind him, had collected all this money, raising donations, putting out a false story, making it seem like Austin Metcalf was bullying Karmelo Anthony, when we all know good and well, if you've been following this case since the very beginning, that Austin Metcalf did not have a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
This situation escalated because Karmelo Anthony had a little ego problem. And now that's going to cost him some time in prison, more than likely. And y'all, if you haven't heard, apparently these parents have spent all the money, allegedly, that they've received from their supporters. Isn't that interesting?
We were just notified yesterday that we could begin to withdraw funds.
And also, they're facing more legal issues. Now, let's go ahead and hear more about those legal issues that they're facing.
This video is going to cut off too,
Sarah
y'all.
Fields posted this letter, and this is from Texas Department of Public Safety. And in this letter, it says,
This video cut off, but again, you have Sarah Fields here that has it all right here. You already know. Always. And I'll show y'all what the letter says and what Sarah said. But literally have it here. This letter is to inform you that the department has completed the investigation concerning the complaint you filed with this department. A program investigator was assigned the above listed case to investigate a complaint alleging that Next Generation Action Network is illegally providing security services for individuals as well as their organization and are not licensed under Texas law. Next Generation Action Network was found in violation of the following: Texas Occupations Code, OCC Section 1702, 102, 1702, 388, operating without a license. So you have it right there. Dominique Alexander, prior advocate and security for Karmelo Anthony, was operating without a license, according to DPS, allegedly collecting funds for security via the fundraiser. Some of you may, and this is Sarah Fields talking, by the way, y'all. Some of you may remember my exclusive reporting on Dominique Alexander, the man who originally assigned Karmelo Anthony's spokesperson. Dominique argued that Karmelo Anthony had obviously, did this to Austin Metcalf in self-defense. He also called me out by name in his press conference, claiming that I came after him. Again, this is Sarah Fields speaking. Said he is correct. We did go after him because Dominique Alexander not only is a career criminal who is running a fraudulent organization funded by Soros-backed groups, he also providing a security team for Karmelo Anthony's family, a security team that he claimed could be at the disposal of the Anthony family. The Anthony family's give, send, go description was changed to include security. At the time, Dominique was providing armed security to the family. Many of you remember the video of Dominique Alexander with Next Generation Action Network leading Karmelo with his own security team from the jail to secure vehicle. The footage below was proudly filmed and posted after Carmelo Anthony was, released on bond. I'm telling y'all, pretty wild when it comes down to it. Pretty wild. Now you have it right here. Which is definitely wild, and I definitely have to show y'all this. I'm not gonna lie. It says, don't care that he's unalive. I can't say the other word, and y'all know that. Congratulations are being shared for a Texas high school student who will still receive his diploma during a challenging time. Carmelo Anthony, a 17-year-old student in Frisco, Texas, has reached an agreement with Frisco Independent School District to graduate from Frisco Memorial High School. He completed all academic requirements and maintained a 3.7 GPA. He will receive the diploma but will not attend the graduation events or the final weeks of school. His family worked with Next Generation Action Network to finalize the agreement. Let me tell y'all something about this. I truly feel like it's sickening. I feel like it's sickening just for the simple fact that this is something that they shouldn't be worried about. And I truly feel like Austin Metcalf didn't get his diploma, about this. Also, what I have to say, it says, what did you do to protect Carmelo? We're the ones who filed this complaint to DPS. I'll tell everyone what you did. You intimidated and pressured Frisco ISD along with NGAN into allowing Carmelo Anthony to graduate instead of being appropriately expelled for placing knife into a fellow student. I'm telling y'all. And it's definitely sickening that this actually even happened. You know what I mean? Truly sad. Sarah Fields then posted and said, will Frisco ISD do the right thing, and award Austin Metcalf his high school diploma? Will they honor his memory? On April 2nd, 2025, Austin Metcalf, was, unalived after, by Carmelo Anthony, and it did happen. As many of y'all, know. But I also have to watch what I say on here too. Despite failing to meet the district's 90% attendance requirement after his arrest, despite being eligible for expulsion under Frisco's ISD-owned policies, Carmelo Anthony was still allowed to receive a diploma. Now, graduation season is approaching again. The class of 2026 will walk the stage in May, just 1 month before Anthony trials begin. At this point, the only way that Frisco ISD salvage any moral credibility is literally to award, Austin Metcalf his diploma and honor him. Now, I do want to say that, and I'm going to read this next post before I got to say what I want to say, because it is an update that they will, Sarah Fields put that they will honor Austin Metcalf at the graduation. Just weeks ago, I reported, obviously what happened, what I just read y'all, and now they're going to honor, Austin Metcalf, and his name will be, heard, which is definitely amazing. Now, what I did have to say, though, about this is a simple fact that when they do honor Austin Metcalf, and I know that they obviously, pretty sure, went to different schools, if I'm not mistaken. But at the same time, don't mention Carmelo's name at all. It should be about Austin Metcalf. Even with Carmelo at the graduation for Carmelo Anthony, they better not mention his name now whatsoever. And I can't tell nobody what to do when it comes down to Carmelo Anthony and going to that school. They better not mention his name or nothing like that. That stuff right there, I feel like it would definitely alarm me, because that's something that definitely shouldn't happen. It already shouldn't happen when him receiving the diploma at that. And I'm not a person that's just going to be completely negative, but I truly feel like you as a person, and I know I'm going to have people in my comments talking crazy. I'm just saying, like, you as a person and doing what you're doing, that should be the least of your worries right now. Like, you can do that when it comes down to, like, I just feel like that's something that, like how they made the whole thing of, oh, he's a good student, he's this, he's that. I'm not saying that Carmelo Anthony before this was a horrible student. I don't know. From the reports that I had, you've had a female, speak on Carmelo Anthony literally, and I'll find a video for my next video of Carmelo Anthony. I'll make sure I write that in my notes. Carmelo, she literally said Carmelo Anthony was known to fight in it. It's some real videos out there. He's known to fight. And then I just read y'all report that he's gotten caught with a knife before. So if y'all are getting all that information and y'all are seeing all the information, that should tell you a lot. But they tried to make him seem like he was a good student. They said he had 3.7 GPA, this, that, and other. Regardless, put all that aside. he still did what he did to Austin Metcalf, and it's accountability. That's how I look at it. I don't care what anybody got to say. That's truly, truly how I feel about it. That's it, and that's all. When I tell y'all, though, that I definitely will have more for y'all as much as possible. One thing is, big shout out to Sarah Fields for what she's doing and stand on top of this as much as possible. She is one person. I'm pretty sure between Sarah Fields and the quartering, those are two individuals that have been on top of this nonstop. So I definitely got to give it to them for being on top of this and, keeping this alive. Definitely. Especially with, Austin Metcalf and his memory, most definitely. Prayers to Austin Metcalf and the families. Prayers to Karmelo Anthony and his families. I'm like that. That's how I am, when it comes down to it, regardless, because everybody needs that prayer. Everybody definitely needs that prayer when it comes down to it, especially, when you having a child, that has lost. It's too, and I don't want this to make, to make it sound, bad, but there's one life that you can't get back in a way. You know what I mean? It's sad even saying it. But there's also lives that were affected by this for somebody making a dumb decision, and now he got to face the consequence when they come down to it. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Definitely appreciate y'all. Much love, everybody. Catch y'all next one.